because I can tell you right now, there's a massive opening coming in the market there.
Yeah, it's about to go boom, isn't it?
About to boom.
The big question is, what has mead got to do with beer? All right, go see coffee.
Coffee with me.
Okay, so a big week we had. In fact, we were away for 2 weeks in the Cape.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Happy to be home.
Yeah, lovely. It's always nice going away.
Yeah.
Always better coming home and sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah, 100%.
So this week we went to the Cape and you helped the African Beer Cup with some judging of mead. How was that?
Yes, wow, that was so exciting. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to Lucy and her team that are the organizers of the African Beer Cup.
What an amazing setup, eh?
Such an amazing competition and just so welcoming,
Barbie,
such a cool vibe. Everyone, like when it was judging time, everyone was, doing what they needed to do. But
when they work, they work. When they play.
And we had such a welcome. Everyone was so welcoming.
Yeah.
Although like the mead section of the competition was really small section of it. I was invited to judge some of the beers as well.
Fantastic.
And there was not one incident where, you would almost expect you're sitting at a table filled with judges who are experienced beer judges.
Yeah. Internationals as well.
Yeah. And they were so friendly and so open and even happy to have my comment, you know.
No one's got the sense of arrogance.
There's no like chip on their shoulder, but you're just a mead judge or anything like that. It was really just amazing. I learned so much. The beer making is next level, hey? The amount of classes alone is insane. I never knew there was so much to learn about beer.
The big question is, what has mead got to do with beer? Why is mead in with the beer competition?
Okay, so the thinking behind this, first of all, was obviously initially to get experience judging mead in a different competition, on a different platform. Because I think that to be a good judge, you need to be flexible. Yeah. You need to be able to judge in various competitions and still keep the foundation of what you've learned in terms of tasting and the aroma and the aftertaste and whatever. You need to keep that in place, but you still need to be able to be flexible and move around within different competition styles.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, not every competition is run the same way.
Sure.
So this competition's been running, I think, 6 years. And they had, I think it was 273 entries.
Yeah, there were lots. I saw it.
So, and they've got 50 judges that come out from all over the world, and guys from all over South Africa in various sections of the industry.
Yeah.
So the industry is very well represented in that room, like in a massive way.
Very busy, and there was always a vibe. There was always like a hum. You go inside. I didn't really go in much when you guys were judging, but I stuck my head inside there, and everyone's like doing their thing. And guys walking past, what do you call them? Stewards.
Yeah, stewards.
Stewards walking in with the trays and the beers, and I'm like, ooh, beer,
yeah.
So, you were actually talking about it. The one day, you pretty much were drinking beer from what time to what time?
From 9 in the morning. We finished judging at 4 p.m. and then 6 p.m. we started at the next event, which was more beer drinking.
But it's not like drink a whole glass.
No, you're drinking little taste, and so
some of them. It's not like you're judging the ones at the end, while you were drunk.
No. So the ones from 6 p.m. Onwards is more like an event.
Okay.
So we did we would go to different little craft breweries, and they would host us.
We went to so many, hey?
It was so awesome.
Mind blowing.
But the reason I thought this was a good place for us to learn stuff that we can try and implement into the mead industry is because the making of beer, although it's much more complex than what making mead is, in my opinion, maybe just because I don't really know it. I know mead making, but a lot of especially the what's the word now?
The manufacturing, or like the brewing and the fermenting and.
Right. Okay. A lot of the things are very similar when it comes to the cleanliness and the sterilization of things and whatever. Because when you're distilling stuff, the alcohol kills anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're in a distillery, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Although you will still keep things sanitary and whatever.
Yeah.
It's not such a big risk.
Yeah.
Whereas with brewing of beer and brewing of mead, you're starting it off with no alcohol.
Yeah.
And so the chance of infections and getting microbacteria and stuff in the product is very high.
And even when you do have the alcohol, it's relatively low compared to distilling.
Yes. Oh yeah, much lower. So the chance of it going badly because of oxidization or microbacteria or microorganisms or whatever is much higher when it comes to beer and mead.
Yeah.
So in those ways, basically it's very similar.
Yeah.
You need to, if you're going to be setting up a commercial brewery, the considerations you've got to take in terms of how you're going to clean and sanitize and whatever is very similar to that if you're going to be doing it for mead.
Okay.
And if some of you maybe don't know, currently our mead is brewed at a distillery, which they do a fantastic job in Ballito. but we are looking to do it ourselves. And so for you and I, it was a research. We went looking to get information and see how things are done. And let's face it, the craft brewery industry in South Africa is massive.
Yeah, they've got it down to the T.
And it's grown very quickly in a very short period of time.
So we've got lots to learn from them.
Loads to learn. And just, the way that the little breweries are set up with their little tap rooms, and some of them are in quirky places. Like you wouldn't think there'd be a place. It's not
industrial area.
Yeah, it's not like in a shopping mall or whatever. Like you drive in an industrial area. If you go there at night, there's no cars on the road. But for a lot of people, that's their
getaway.
Drink before they head home.
Wait for the traffic.
Little stopover. So just the way that things have been done in that industry are very inspirational for me. I think that there's a lot we can learn from them, and I think if we implement some of those lessons, they've already paid the school fees as well.
Yeah. Why do we want to do it again?
I mean, one of the guys that we spoke to, we went to so many breweries, I can't remember, but he actually said if he could give us any advice, it would be he said he's moved his brewery 3 times in the last 2 years. Sure. And he said, if I could give you any advice,
find the right place.
Find a bigger place. Rather be tiny in the corner of your big place and have space to grow.
Yeah.
Because he said they initially moved into a space that was just what they needed. Yeah. And they quickly outgrew that.
Okay.
So, just like getting some advice from people and learning things that they've already learned, that we don't have to relearn them.
Yeah, exactly. And also the other things that are very similar are like the brewing or the fermentation tanks, those conical, I mean, those are the same as what we would use in the meadery.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, and then also some interesting things that I found is, we've been doing it by default, I suppose. But when they crash the mead,
cold crash it,
it's like all of a sudden it clears, like almost.
And they do the same with the beer as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of the terminologies are similar. A lot of the practices are similar. Yeah. And it's just even little things like using different yeasts.
Yeah.
When we're doing the judging, they explain a lot about how the different yeasts will produce a more bitter aftertaste or a drier aftertaste or a more fruity aftertaste or something else will happen within the actual flavor or the aroma or whatever it might be. So for me, as some of you might know, I use beer brewing yeast and bread yeast mixed together.
Yeah.
And although it's not wrong, I've learned that there are other things that we can try and that will make our product a bit more stabilized and allow us to get a more consistent flavor, etc. Yeah. So just also being open to some new things and trying them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that sounds good. I mean, we learned a lot. And for those that haven't seen, go have a look at our YouTube page and you'll actually see the videos that we did while we were there.
We interviewed some judges from overseas who were here judging mead. Marcos, our new best friend in Mexico, Mexico City. Yeah. So I think the big thing is also to start promoting mead in South Africa, promoting mead making at home. Yeah. And a lot of the brewing guys, they understand the principles. Yeah. And I hope that they will also start brewing a bit of.
And I think also if there are some beekeepers that are looking at starting microbrews for mead and that type of stuff, contact us, and then we can go along and try and see how we can help you get going and get your product out there, and help you get starting. I know it's a daunting task. I mean, we've been through the whole process and stuff like that to try and apply for a license and what equipment you need and all that type of stuff, recipes and all that.
But I really think that there is an openness to mead in the marketplace. If anything, Cape Town, we all know, is the hub of wine and winemaking and beer making and all that. And everyone is very open to something new, something different. And mead in the world is growing massively.
We saw that research in the States.
Yeah, so they say three meaderies are opening every day in the States.
Yeah, that according to the stats between 2020 and now, equivalent to 3 per day.
Yeah. So I mean, there's certainly place for growth.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can open our mead with the amount of different honeys that we've got in South Africa. You can literally make your own one standard recipe of mead and apply it to like 50 different honeys or whatever, and you'll get 50 different meads.
Yeah.
So just that scope of wiggle room and diversity is really amazing. We've got something really special. And so my suggestion to anyone who is looking, even if you're a brewer and you make beer, join SAMA, the South African Mead Makers Association, and learn a bit about mead making. Because I can tell you right now, there's a massive opening coming in the market there.
Yeah, it's about to go boom, isn't it?
To boom, yeah. So
fantastic.
Excellent.
If you got any ideas, comment on the video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button.
Yeah, and the little bell, ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Let us know any comments that you might have, and we'll see you soon in the next video.
Yeah, see you there. Bye.
Alright, go see coffee. Coffee with me!
Start brewing today.